Take a look at any US dollar bill. Whether it's $1, $20, or $100, they all share one unusual feature. They're green. Now here's the strange part. Almost every country has redesigned its money. Canada did, Australia did, the United Kingdom did. Even tiny countries have colorful banknotes. But the United States, for more than 150 years, it has stayed mostly green. Why? Was it simply a design tradition? Did Americans just like the color? Or is there a hidden reason almost nobody talks about? The answer takes us back to one of the darkest moments in American history. The Civil War. The year was 1861. The United States was fighting for survival. The government needed an enormous amount of money. There wasn't enough gold. There wasn't enough silver. So, for the first time, the government began printing large amounts of paper money. But that created a dangerous new problem. Counterfeiters' fake money started appearing everywhere. Some copies looked almost identical to the real thing. People were being fooled. Businesses were losing money. Trust in paper currency was beginning to disappear. The government needed a solution. And surprisingly, that solution would come from a single color. Green. But why green? The answer is much smarter than most people realize. At first, the idea sounded simple. Just print paper money, problem solved. But reality was very different. In the 1860s, printing technology was improving fast. That wasn't good news. Because counterfeiters were improving too. Some fake bills were so convincing, even experienced merchants couldn't tell the difference. The government realized it needed something much harder to copy. And that's when green ink changed everything. Back then, most documents were printed using black ink. But black ink faded over time. It also reacted poorly to sunlight, moisture, and constant handling. Green ink was different. It stayed vibrant for much longer. It resisted chemical changes better than most inks available at the time. And perhaps most importantly, the exact formula was extremely difficult to reproduce. That made life much harder for counterfeiters. But here's something most people don't know. The color itself was only part of the protection. The real secret was the printing process. Each dollar bill was created using engraved steel plates. Tiny lines, microscopic details, intricate patterns. Details so fine they were almost impossible to copy accurately with 19th century technology. Even if someone managed to copy the green color, matching those details was a completely different challenge. Suddenly, America's paper money became much harder to fake. And public confidence slowly returned. It looked like the problem had finally been solved. But then something unexpected happened. Years later, printing technology improved again. Color printing became easier. New security features appeared. Other countries started redesigning their banknotes. Many abandoned traditional colors completely. So why didn't America do the same? Why is the dollar still mostly green more than 150 years later? The answer has less to do with security and far more to do with something millions of people never think about. By the early 1900s, the dollar had become more than just money. It had become a symbol of trust. People recognized it instantly. They knew exactly what it looked like. And that familiarity was incredibly valuable. Think about it. If the government suddenly changed the color of every dollar bill, millions of Americans would immediately become suspicious. Some might wonder, is this real? Is this fake? Can I trust it? Sometimes keeping something familiar is more powerful than changing it. That's exactly what happened with the US dollar. As the years passed, technology improved. Counterfeiters got smarter. But so did the US government. Today's dollar bills contain security features people in the 1800s could never imagine. Hidden security threads, microprinting, color-shifting ink watermarks, raised printing. Tiny details invisible to most people, but incredibly difficult to copy. Ironically, green ink is no longer the dollar's strongest defense. So why keep the green color? Because by now it has become part of America's identity. The moment you see that familiar shade of green, you immediately know it's a US dollar. Just like the red color of a stop sign, or the golden arches of a famous fast food restaurant. Some colors become symbols, and symbols build trust. But here's something even more surprising. The next time you hold a dollar bill, look closely. The green color was never just decoration. It represents more than 150 years of history, innovation, and public confidence. A color chosen during a national crisis that quietly became one of the most recognizable designs on Earth. So will American money always stay green? Maybe, maybe not. The US Treasury has redesigned dollar bills many times. Security features have changed. Portraits have become sharper. The paper has become stronger. The technology has become smarter. But one thing has remained almost untouched, that familiar shade of green. Not because the government couldn't change it, but because it didn't need to. Sometimes the most powerful design is the one people already trust. Today, millions of transactions happen digitally. People tap their phones, use credit cards, or send money without ever touching cash. Yet, the moment someone hands you a paper dollar, you recognize it instantly. No explanation, no second thought, just trust. And that's something money has always depended on. Not paper, not ink. Trust. The green color helped build that trust during one of America's hardest moments. Over time, it became more than a color. It became a symbol. A reminder that sometimes the simplest design choices leave the biggest mark on history. So the next time you hold a US dollar, don't just see a piece of paper. See a design born from crisis, protected by innovation, strengthened by history, and remembered by one unforgettable color. Green. That's the hidden story behind why US dollar bills are still green. If you enjoyed discovering the secret behind something most people never question, subscribe to Story Behind the Things. Because we uncover the hidden stories behind the ordinary things that quietly shape our everyday lives. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay curious.